Hello, everyone. This is Professor Joseph Holbrook, and I'm recording this video to announce that I'm teaching a new class that I have been designing for the last month or two. I just got through teaching two classes on the Caribbean, and that was fun. I read about 20 books to teach those two classes, and now I'm reading another 13 books, and I'm going to be teaching a class on Christianity in the Caribbean starting in January. And this is going to be it's structured chronologically, so you could say it's structured from a history point of view, but there's also some sociological analysis in the course, as well as phenomenology. We'll be asking ourselves, how do the people who are experiencing the numinous and the mysterium, how do they interpret their experience? So we begin. Let me just jump over to my book, my reading list. This will be a cross-listed class, so it's good for undergraduates or graduate students. And we begin in the early Caribbean, the Spanish Caribbean, especially in the city of Cartagena, with Kristen Block's book, Ordinary Lives in the Early Caribbean, Religion, Colonial Competition, and the Politics of Profit. Then we go on to Edmonds and Gonzalez, Caribbean Religious History, an excellent book. I highly recommend it. Then we, at some point, will do some reading from Bartolomé de las Casas, a short introduction to the destruction of the Indies. Now I'm going down through this not in chronological order, but in the order of the last name, alphabetical. Also, there's Catherine Gerbner, which I just finished reading, Christian Slavery, Conversion and Race in the Protestant Atlantic World. It was a bit of a shocking eye-opener for me, some of the information that she uncovers. Stephen D. Glazier, an anthropologist, Afro-Caribbean anthropologist, has a great book called Marching the Pilgrims Home, a study of the spiritual Baptists of Trinidad, which are a very unique group that I won't take the time to talk about right now. I met a young lady who last summer who told me that her grandfather was one of the top people in Trinidad with the spiritual Baptists. Then there's Peter Marina. This will be our last book in the chronological series, Chasing Religion in the Caribbean, Ethnographic Journeys from Antigua to Trinidad. This is a sociological view of religion in the Caribbean, particularly of Pentecostalism. And he works a lot with Max Weber's concepts of charisma and leadership, institutionalization. That's going to be a really enjoyable book. Luis Martinez Fernandez wrote Protestantism and Political Conflict in the 19th Century Hispanic Caribbean. Earl Lovelace wrote a wonderful novel. He is a author from Trinidad. I believe he's Trinidad, maybe Jamaica. But he wrote The Wine of Astonishment, which is a quote, a reference to a passage in Isaiah. And he wrote about the persecution of the spiritual Baptists in Trinidad in the 1940s and 50s. Then Winnell Curtin Roberts wrote Created in Their Image, Evangelical Protestantism in Antigua and Barbados. Ronaldo Roman, Governing Spirits, Religion, Miracles, and Spectacles in Cuba and Puerto Rico, 1898 to 1956. It coincides with the Spanish-American War, the beginning. One of my favorite books is I'm going to skip down one. John F. Sensbach wrote Rebecca's Revival, published by Harvard University Press. This is a great book about a young woman of color who was born in slavery and spent a good portion of her early adulthood years as a leader, a teacher, an evangelist, an apostle in the island of St. Thomas, and helped launch a Afro-American, Afro-Caribbean movement to appropriate Christianity and to interpret in Christianity themes of liberation and salvation. I skipped over David Shannon's book, George Lael's Life and Legacy, an Unsung Hero. This is another black man who was, I believe, was born in the United States, in slavery, but he was set free from slavery, and he accompanied his friend and mentor, a colonel in the U.S. Army. I believe it was U.S. It might have been British, but he accompanied him to Jamaica and ended up planting churches in Jamaica. He was one of the first missionaries long before Adoniram Judson or many of the evangelical missionaries at the beginning of the 19th century, 1800s, and he established a black movement, a Christian movement in Jamaica. Alex Stepik and Sarah Mahler, Terry Ray, wrote a very contemporary book about churches and religion in Miami. This is one I'm still reading, but it looks very interesting and gives a lot of interesting information about social capital building, community, and some sociological dynamics of churches in an immigrant city. And there are other books in the queue that I'm working on. So these are some of the books we'll be going through. If you're an undergraduate, you will just have to read maybe a chapter here and there, and I will pre-digest a lot of this for you and give it to you in lectures. For the graduate students, this is a cross-listed course. You'll have to pick 10 out of these 13 books to read during the course of the semester, plus do a little research. My courses are almost always reading heavy, hopefully thinking and discussion as well. So let me go to my promo. This is my picture, Christianity in the Caribbean, and it'll be meeting on Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. in the Writer Business Building in room 120, beginning on the 10th of January. So I hope to see a few of my friends there. I'll be recording the lectures as I go, hopefully, or very soon shortly after I present them. So if you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel, but you're not an FIU student, do not despair. There will be lectures on their way, and anyone who's interested in this reading list, I'll be happy to send it to you, or the entire syllabus if you actually want to do the course on your own. So this is going to be a treat. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy creating new courses. I enjoy bringing together 3 different disciplines: the discipline of history, the discipline of Latin American and Caribbean studies, and the discipline of religious studies. So this is going to be a great time, and I hope that some of you will be able to join me in this class, or join me in the journey of learning about expressions of Christianity in the Caribbean, from Bartolomé de las Casas to current Pentecostalism. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye.